culture where we bring down prices that are still too high.
You brought up the costs!
A two-night live stream special event.
Since Biden and Harris took office, a family of 4 needs to make $17,000 more annually. You're campaigning against yourself!
Mug Club fact checks the DNC.
We have a DNC chairperson to fact check, and let me lead this with he one time called Donald Trump Hitler.
Donald Trump is America's Hitler.
Hitler.
You know who their new fact checker is? It's CNN, Cory Booker.
You want to see me die?
He just finished cleaning the soda machine.
You would rather me
I'm
die?
just letting people that are moving on to another hateful joke.
Hey, look behind you! There's her aide!
We'll continue our fight for working families of America. Eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Do it now! You're campaigning against yourself. The cost of living is too high. Yeah, crime. Wait,
Defund the police. Black Lives Matter has been the most significant agent for change.
We need to unite the country. The country's been divided. Who the hell did that?
They're not going to let up, and they should not.
Does anybody else see this?
I love it. Seriously.
As my administration calls on Google and Spotify to censor Joe Rogan and by name Steven Crowder. You know that's a thing, right? At the Recode conference, yet senators calling for this to be banned. That's why we're supported by you, Mug Club. It's surreal when you watch senators and committees talking about banning your channel over things like a blow-up doll.
That wasn't a suggestion.
This is the most important election of our lifetime. I haven't said that in the past. I've also never endorsed anybody in the past. Did it this time because it's different.
A two-night live stream special event. Special guests and drinking game rules to follow.
Get that.
I needed a little more time today because I'm not well. No, you know,
in the head?
Well, come on.
I mean,
there's no surprise there. I was a little because I was like, hey, well, hold on a second, Gerald, if you're gonna have to use this at some point because I'm sick, can you use my headphones? And Gerald said that he was a bug chaser.
I don't remember saying that.
I heard him say it.
Yeah, I heard him say it. It's okay because I'm a gift giver.
Everything's recorded.
Really glad to be. I am glad to be with you today. I was not supposed to be in because I don't want to be contagious. But I saw Joe Biden last night, former Vice President Joe Biden, respect the office, and I said I gotta come in. I gotta come in and do the fact check because we will be doing this live, of course, tomorrow night and Thursday night. The DNC for Tim Walz and Kamala Harris at 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be live fact checking it. Drinking game rules to follow. I will have hot toddies, but today I just said we got to go through this. We got to go through this. So this is the rundown today. Biden, his stuff yesterday. Democrats just love abortion. You know, they bring out that lady on the... Anyway, you guys know what happened. But we're also going to be debunking Kamala's Law and Order ad. So we have a lot to get to today. And I don't know if this is going to happen, but it often does if you're watching on YouTube. Head on over to Rumble because it's a live show weekdays, 10 a.m. Eastern. When I'm on... I actually haven't taken cold medicine this morning. I think it's left over from last night. I just feel goofy.
You're trying to.
I just feel goofy. I was like, I took the Alka-Seltzer day and night. My mom swears by it. Yeah. And I was like, my arms feel heavy.
So did you roofie yourself?
It's been about a year since I've been like full blown sick. Yeah. So it's just, but you know, when you have a twin birthday party, it's the bubonic plague.
Allergies.
And let me ask you this: what do you think was in the cocktail they gave Joe Biden last night? That's the question of the day. I say meth.
Anger.
Some form of amphetamines.
Captain Morgan, how are you, sir?
Much better than you. Sorry to hear. I think it was all the Arnold Schwarzenegger voice combined with sickness. And
No, that was the silver lining yesterday.
Yes.
It was a light. It warmed my heart. And when you hear this, you know him. You love him. I'm fighting germs, but he fought for your country. September 19th. September 19th.
You don't know that.
Big Laugh Comedy Club, Fort Worth, Texas. Mr. Josh Firestine. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Actually, I'm really good. Yesterday, I came home to a surprise. My wife had mowed the lawn.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I got to redo it, but she mowed the lawn. And I was surprised, and she was out there in the heat, and she really...
And that's why wives will be replaced by robots.
Well, I mean...
Among other reasons.
There's a few other
Among
reasons
other
I can
reasons.
think of.
You know, you can pretty much program a robot to do anything.
There's some maneuvers that the old elbows are prohibited.
Not all women, can make a perfect dismount.
No. But to answer your question, Metamucil was in his cocktail for sure.
Yes, it absolutely was.
He doesn't like me,
Which brings us here to what we are going to be discussing today. Former Vice President Joe Biden. Well, we'll get to the fact check, but first, there was a lot that happened last night. He's ousted, obviously. Gerald gave it a 50-50 shot. 50-50. Thanks, Thanks, Alka-Seltzer, man. Is it just me or does it happen when you take cold medicine at night?
Just went with it. Fitty-fitty.
Fitty-fitty.
Fitty shot.
About 50 cent. Brings us to This Week in Biden.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
My dad used to say there wasn't a whole hell of a lot to drop down on my kitchen table. I come from a basic middle-class family. 3-bedroom house, 4 kids, a grandpop living with us. That top-down notion never worked. A lot of Democrats didn't think it worked, but both thought it worked, but it doesn't. Common life. I'm going to say something outrageous. I know more foreign leaders by their first names and know them well than anybody alive. Just because I'm so damn old. Quote, women are not without electoral. Common lie. She walks down the stairs and I still get that going boom, boom, boom. We have 1,000 billionaires in America. No kidding. I've given my heart and soul to our nation. And I've been blessed a million times in return for the support of the American people. I've either been too young to be in the Senate because I wasn't 30 yet. We're the United States of America.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
No kidding.
Hi, I'm Dr. Doctor, and every year thousands of patients walk through my door seeking medical treatment for a variety of ailments, diseases, and injuries. Now I'm happy to serve my patients, but for some of the more contagious outbreaks, I'd appreciate it if you could stay the heck away from my office, okay? Yeah, I'm talking to you, Derek. Yeah, you remember those scabies you brought into my office? You remember that? Yeah, well, they burrowed into both of my legs, Derek. They burrowed into my legs and laid eggs. They laid so many eggs, they formed a colony of scabies babies, and they caused a bloodstream infection, and it cut off circulation in my calves, and now I can't use my legs. I'm paralyzed, Derek. Look at me. I can't walk. You did this to me, Derek. How am I supposed to walk my daughter down the aisle? I had to drop out of a 5K for Alzheimer's because of you, Derek. Now I'll never raise enough money to save my grandpa. Sure, he won't remember, but that's not the point, Derek. If you'd just taken my advice over the phone and gotten yourself an emergency contagion kit from the wellness company, we wouldn't be in this situation, and I'd still be able to dunk.
Ha! You're 5'9".
Shut up, Jerry!
Go to twc.health/Crowder and grab your contagion emergency kit right now. Use the code Crowder to save 10% and to get free shipping.
That's right. twc.health/Crowder, 10% off. And I know they're thrilled to hear me sounding like this.
You're going to
talking about the wellness company. I will. Look, sometimes
you have like a cold or something.
I don't know that there's anything.
These are more serious.
Can we call them and ask if there's something I can take because it's viral? I know their kits have ivermectin.
The Contagion kit has stuff for influenza A and C, I believe.
Well, I'm not going to lie.
It's got stuff for the flu. Yeah.
I wasn't taking it, which is probably why I'm sick. Go. All right. We're going to fact check Biden here in just a second. But first, we have to recap it because tomorrow and Thursday, these are going to be late night streams. They're going to be very, very long streams because we are leading up to election night. There will be no town hall. There will be no debate. There will be no function, whatever, that takes place where we will not be live fact checking it and imbibing. So let me first give you a recap as to the DNC. Before we get to Biden, here's what you missed.
Someone should have told Donald Trump that the president's job under Article 2 of the Constitution
Look at their project 2025.
On the other side of that glass ceiling is Kamala
It's not a reflection.
Harris raising her hand and taking the oath.
Is Donald Trump flicking you off?
2025. Y'all already heard Hillary say, I did not copy out for her speech. I just want y'all to know.
Project 'Cause you can't read?
I should go back to bartending. Project 2025.
Are you
No,
ready
thanks.
to elect Kamala Harris, the first president of the United States? Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Talking to us like Jill talks to Joe.
Steph Curry, we can tell Donald Trump, night night.
Project 2025.
Oh my gosh.
Future is here.
What is that thing?
Let's go.
I think it was a fox on her head.
Project 2025.
There it is.
It's one of those things at KB Toys that you walked.
Is this America? You're damn right it is.
Yeah.
By the way, I think at first that was a legitimate question. Like, is this America? I need an answer. Am I in America? Help me.
Hold for Chicago gunshot applause break.
And then the sitcom.
It's okay, everybody. That was outside. It was outside.
Family Matters.
Love of the family.
Just blows a guy away. Dad, you gotta stop treating me like I'm a little kid.
Did I do that?
Got any gauze?
All right. So now let's get to, look, you've seen a lot of this, and this is why we put together these segments. We make all of the references available at louderwithcrowder.com. You can click the link in the description. There is fake news, I hate to say this, but on both sides. And so some of the fact checks that you'll read on X or you see on YouTube are not actual fact checks. So if someone doesn't provide you with references, I would just say that allow it to give you pause. And we want to make sure that everything here is correct, because everything that former Vice President Joe Biden said, that's hyperbole. Almost everything, like 99% of it, was factually incorrect. And of course, the media has not fact-checked him at all. Let's go through these claims. Here's the first claim that former VP Joe Biden made, that this is an old, tired trope. We've debunked this. For some reason, the left feels comfortable still using it, that Donald Trump called Nazis at Charlottesville very fine people.
When the president was asked what he thought had happened, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "There are very fine people on both sides. My God."
My God.
He just learned about it. He was like, what? He said that?
Here's the truth. This has already been debunked a million times, including by Snopes, even by left-leaning fact-checking websites. But don't believe me. Believe your lying eyes and ears. Here's what Donald Trump actually said.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
So when the left asks you to condemn white supremacy, neo-Nazis, here's the thing. It's a trick no matter what. And it doesn't matter if you do, as he did. They're going to claim that you didn't until the election is over, and then Snopes will come back and say, well, we were wrong about that. Here's the next claim that former VP Joe Biden made. Factually incorrect, that inflation is way down.
Wages up, inflation down, way down, and continuing to go down.
Okay, here's the truth. And if you've been paying attention, you know this because you're alive. Inflation is up at least 20% since Biden took office, compared to the total inflation under Donald Trump of 6%. Now, to put that in context, because they kind of massage these numbers, the number that really matters to you is a family of 4 needs to make $17,000 more per year just to maintain the exact same lifestyle they had when Joe Biden took office. If you're going to notice a pattern here, it's that they don't fear accountability. And you know what? They shouldn't. CNN has not fact-checked this. ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, no one has. But they'll fact-check Donald Trump if he says 1994 when he meant 1993. Here's the next claim that former VP Joe Biden made, that the racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years.
The smallest racial wealth gap in 20 years.
That one's tough because here's the truth. It's the highest it's ever been.
Close.
The gap has grown about 50,000 since COVID.
That's so much, dude.
And this is one where when we do the Change My Minds, we do these, we prepare for debates or fact checking. We say, okay, well, where are they getting their sources? For example, with inflation, there are ways that they change the CPI, they take away energy prices and mortgage rates. So this is one of those issues where we couldn't find any sort of legitimate basis for making this claim. There isn't. There's no leg to stand on. It is not kind of lower, not year to year. It's the highest it's ever been, 50,000. Is how the gap has expanded since COVID. Here's the fourth claim that former VP Joe Biden made, that violent crime is at its lowest level in 50 years.
The murder rate is falling faster than any time in history. Violent crime has dropped to the lowest level in more than 50 years. And crime will keep coming down.
Okay, here's the truth. Assault and murder rates are both significantly higher than pre-COVID levels. Assault is up 29% approximately since 2019. Murder is up 9%, and that's not taking into account that they've changed the method of reporting. So the last 2 years, we don't have accurate crime data. The estimates are somewhere to a quarter, on the high end, a third of police precincts actually reporting crime through the national databases now. So that's why you see a drop just in these last 2 years that honestly wouldn't follow any graph that occurs in nature, kind of like votes. Here's the fifth claim that former VP Joe Biden made last night. And this is one that we've debunked many times. You can go and watch a more in-depth segment on this. That shootings, and if you are a completely uninformed person, this would sound scary. The leading cause of death for children, so think toddlers, think babies, shootings.
More children in America are killed by a gunshot than any other cause in the United States. More die from a bullet than cancer, accidents, or anything else in the United States of America. My God.
We found his catchphrase.
Yeah. Along with, I don't think so.
Hamburger.
Here's the truth. No, not even close. The leading causes of death for 1 to 14-year-olds, by the way, number 1 is disease, number 2 is traffic accidents, number 3 is cancer, and number 4 involves congenital disorders. Now, the number that he uses, and we've done a long segment on this, includes teenage gangbangers who can be tried as adults. Now, the reason that this matters is because it harms you. If you're a dumb person and you believe that your child is more at risk because you have a locked gun in the house than, for example, a bathtub, or, for example, the common flu, or, for example, in the backseat of your car, you're going to make bad decisions. Lies hurt people, especially when they're being shouted from a pulpit that's supposed to be authoritative. And at its most basic, honest. It's not. It's not the leading cause of death, not even close. All links available in the description, references every day. Here's the sixth claim that he makes. That the border, he's tried to say, is safer and encounters are lower now than when Donald Trump left office.
Border encounters have dropped over 50%. In fact, there are fewer border crossings today than when Donald Trump left office.
Okay. What? Here's the truth.
Not even close. Now, I thought maybe because you can say month to month, for example, depending on weather, depending on some variables. If you compare 1 month here, January, to, I don't know, maybe a February here, and you try and massage them. No. The month-over-month numbers are bad. The total numbers are much worse. So let's compare January 2020, when Trump left office, 36,000 encounters that month at the border. July, this month, 104,000. 36,000 to 104,000. He said, there are fewer border crossings now than when Trump left office. He left office, 36,000. Today, 104,000.
Like golf scoring?
Yeah. Well, he has a handicap.
Oh.
And the total numbers are far worse. The total border encounters under Donald Trump were 3 million. Under Biden-Harris, 10 million that we know of. So we have 36,000 to 104,000 month to month. Total, 3 million to at least 10 million. Let's go to the seventh claim that Joe Biden made. And this is one, again, it's not just about the lies, because I know you watching right now, if you're paying attention, this may be remedial, but for a lot of Americans who are just kind of popping their head in the election, they may believe this. And it's not because Joe Biden says it, it's because no one else tells you the truth in legacy media if you're relying on them. He says that Trump wants to take the country into a DeLorean with Project 2025.
Donald Trump and the Republican friends, they not only can't think, they can't read very well. Seriously, think about it. Look at their Project 2025.
Here's the truth. Just watch Donald Trump himself.
You have the radical left and you have the radical right, and they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is, it's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. But what they do is misinformation and disinformation, and they keep saying, he's a threat to democracy. I'm saying, what the hell did I do for democracy? Last week, I took a bullet for democracy. What did I do against democracy? Crazy.
Now, this is the trend that you'll see. He praised as very fine people, neo-Nazis, white supremacists. No, he condemned them. He wants to bring in Project 2025. He said that has nothing to do with me. All right, you may not like neo-Nazis. I don't. You may not like Project 2025. It's basically a wish list from a right-leaning think tank. You don't get to simply say that's Donald Trump's policy or those are his words when they're not. And we genuinely avoid doing this here because you may not know this, but there are many white supremacists in this country. They've actually endorsed Biden. They support Biden. You may not know this, but neo-Nazis in this country, they still actually have the socialist portion of the name. They believe that government programs, subsidization, would work if not for black and brown people. So they're socialists who just happen to be racist. I would never say that that is Joe Biden's platform because it's not true. I don't get to say that. They say it without consequence. The trend is guilt by association. Why? Because when the public is polled on the issues, who's better on the border, on the economy, it's not even close. By the way, whether it's Biden or Kamala Harris. So they want to make it a personality contest and then besmirch his reputation by saying he's supported people who have nothing to do with him. Don't be tricked by that. I think we're at claim number 8 from former Vice President Joe Biden, respect the office. That Donald Trump is going to ban abortion nationwide.
And you know Trump will do everything to ban abortion nationwide. Oh, he will.
Now, here's the truth, and he's trying to ascribe to Donald Trump what other Americans believe. And I will tell you, in this case, I would be the person who many of you would consider an extremist, in that I personally think all abortions are wrong. But I also understand that it's been delegated to the states. And I think that was a decision that where we are at this moment in history was the right one. But I don't believe in abortion exceptions for rape and incest because we'll get into this. They make up less than 1% of all abortions compared to 10 to 15,000 late-term abortions performed every year. I don't believe that you respond to evil with a greater evil. That's my belief. You can comment below if you think that's an extreme opinion. But that is not Donald Trump's belief.
And he will not ban abortion nationwide. He has said so many times.
Now that we have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal standpoint, the states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land. In this case, the law of the state.
What do you say to Republicans feel disappointed by the statement on abortion? Would you sign it? You wouldn't sign it.
Think about this. I'm not saying neo-Nazis should be condemned totally, white supremacists. Will you sign a national abortion ban? No. And Joe Biden goes up there and says, he praised white supremacists and neo-Nazis. He's going to ban abortion nationwide. At what point do you say, okay, these people are not only liars, but because the platform is a platform of lies, the convention is a convention of lies, not half-truths, not some misspeaking, outright lies. It's evil. Again, you may think I'm an extremist. That's my opinion. I believe that the Democratic national platform in the year 2024 is evil. I believe they're committing acts of evil on a grand scale. I think we're allowed to use that rhetoric now because they said that Donald Trump was a Nazi, as well as yours truly. Here's the 9th claim that Joe Biden made. Again, Donald Trump said there was going to be a bloodbath, meaning violence, if he is not elected.
He's promising a bloodbath if he loses, in his words. And that he'll be a dictator on day one, in his own words.
My God.
No, he forgot his catchphrase.
Here's the truth. And you've seen this if you've been paying attention, but unfortunately a lot of Americans have not. President Trump was specifically referring to the American auto manufacturing industry in context and made it clear.
Those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. No, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
I guess the question today is, do you believe that Joe Biden, and by default, of course, by proxy, Kamala Harris, are they lying or stupid? There is no door number 3. Let's round this out with a nice number 10. Here's the 10th claim that former Vice President Joe Biden made. He got 81 million votes.
And a broad coalition of Americans joined with me. 81 million voters voted for us. More than any time in all of history.
So angry about it.
The truth? No. No, he did not. Now, of course, with YouTube, I don't know if we have to. I don't think we're allowed to question election results on YouTube now.
Yeah,
you can go and watch some of our in-depth pieces on the election because there are so many factors at play that don't just prove that is not the case. He did not get 81 million votes. But if you want to chalk that up to my opinion, okay, go and watch the in-depth videos on that, including where we went to voters' addresses that didn't exist with people who never lived there. And, you can comment below. I'm open to hearing you make the case that that man is the most popular man in the history of the world.
Wouldn't that make him the Antichrist?
Well,
that's a story for another time.
That's a valid point.
Yeah, well, all right.
That's a valid point. A lot of people thought that about Caligula. No, they didn't. Historically.
Not really. A little too soon.
He had weird feet, though. This, of course, is one of Biden's last public performances.
Thankfully.
And actually, we have a sneak peek. The movie rights have been purchased, and a movie regarding his life story is in the works.
He sexually molested me the whole time I was growing up.
She's on drugs again.
No, I'm not. And I'm not your special girl, you sick bastard.
Well, I tell you what,
Jeez.
They sucked me in.
I wonder what that's about.
The curiosity gap is there.
Yeah,
I'll go watch it.
I want to see more. And I tell you what, I know none of us want to see more of this DNC in Chicago, but we have to, and we will watch it so that you do not have to watch this alone. This Wednesday and Thursday, mega live streams, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be here live fact-checking both Tim Walz, Kamala Harris, as well as the media. Drinking game rules to follow. Nick DiPaolo is going to be here, the funniest man alive. We will all be here with you, as we will for any debate, town hall, or special event that takes place between now and the election. Because November 5th, 2024 is the most consequential election of our lifetimes. And you know what? We've invested millions to make sure that we have boots on the ground, to make sure that we are able to dispute states, to make sure that we are able to investigate any story that is taking place that night. There's the electoral integrity map where you'll be able to see the states, the electoral votes, as well as any incidents that are taking place, like pipes bursting that then didn't burst, or Bristol boards going up over voting precincts that then were taken down, or votes coming in on red wagons. I'm sorry, I mean camera equipment in unprotected non-Pelican cases. If any of those things happen in real time, it really is scary. It really is scary. Don't ask yourself what the left has done in this country the way it is. Ask yourself what the left would do in this country if they had unfettered power. If you've been watching the DNC, it's very clear. And I believe it's as radical, not only as radical as it's been, obviously, in this country, as radical as you find anywhere in the world, including actual socialist countries. If they had their way completely unfettered, watch the DNC. Abortion up until and including birth period, many of them believe even after birth. You can go and watch the clip of Ralph Northam. Transitioning children, taking children away from their parents if the parents do not allow them to transition. Raising the corporate tax rate to the highest in the industrialized world. Subsidizing horrible decisions through student loan forgiveness, absolution, really. Giant payments, $25,000 for first-time home buyers at the expense of other first-time home buyers. Open borders, amnesty for people here in this country. No cash bail. What you've seen is a drop in the bucket compared to what you would have if they had their way completely unfettered. Let's do it on the other side. We watch the RNC. Take the most extreme members, speakers. Most extreme example is big tech would not be allowed to censor you whatsoever. No one would be able to tell you which guns you can and cannot purchase or keep because of your Second Amendment right. Tax rates would be lowered. I know you hate corporations, so some of you may not like that. Shut down the border, build a wall, deport, well, the biggest deportation program in history as far as people who are here. Start with the criminals and allow abortion to go to the states. Oh, and by the way, you don't get to transition children. That's the extreme right versus the extreme left. We're constantly told both sides have gone to the extremes. Donald Trump wants to lower the corporate tax rate from 21% to 20%. I mean,
extremist.
Okay, Pol Pot. Which side is more extreme? Watch the DNC. Compare it to the RNC. They want you to think that J.D. Vance is weird? Have you seen the audience there at the DNC this week? It's a cavalcade of self-loathing freaks.
Just stuck the landing, huh?
And that's all I have to say about that. My voice is going to be shot if I keep going here. So you know what? Let's Chinese fire drill this. Where Gerald, you can come in for some air support tomorrow and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
No, get away, stop. Get the sign up.
Wow, that's loud.
Okay. Where'd Steven go?
He's gone?
He's gone.
Oh, he's not in either of those chairs.
What are you doing here?
Like a Jimmy Kimmel thing.
No, get over there. No, you're in my spot.
Oh,
Lane,
okay.
we need Lane. Lane. Brain. We need get over in the thing.
there he is.
You know that. Oh, jeez. Who asked the fame seeker to come in here? That was me. That was my bad.
Took your headphones.
I did take my headphones.
You didn't leave him any headphones.
That's right. I don't need them. I don't want his bubonic headphones.
Oh my God! What was that? Please don't throw my headphones.
Why'd you do it so gaily?
Not free.
They're infected. They're just
all right.
Throw everything.
Gotta get everything here. You want to see a mug come flying? Huh? You want to see a mug?
Fine,
I'm a little angry from last night watching the DNC. I can throw and I'll wing it at you.
Please hit me in the face.
Well, okay. All right. So, did that piss everybody else off seeing this speech last night? I just want to put a bow kind of on what Stephen was saying. This was not a man who went out there and, as he said, gave his best to his country and stepped out of the way for the good of the country. He was forced out of the way.
Yeah.
He was kicked out by the very people that he was there to support that night.
Well, don't tell him that.
Well, he
doesn't know why he was there.
Yeah, so you just have to remind him over and over. I was what? Like every day, you know? I don't, like, it's a charade, right? Now, we've talked about this. The one thing that they are doing a good job of is making people feel like they care about them. And they're identifying with them, and then they're talking about this joy stuff. I don't really necessarily buy into that, but they are going like, hey, we care about you, and we're on the positive side of this thing, right?
Feel the joy, Gerald.
Let's feel the joy Chardonnay that she's been sipping on before she goes out and gives her speech. Listen, we need to do a better job as Republicans of making sure people understand that our policies are because we care about you. It's like parenting, right? Look, I wrote this down. It's like if you parent like the DNC tries to parent the public, you'll have terrible children. You will have spoiled brats that have no accountability in their life. They will not understand consequences. They will not understand that they need to bridle in some of their behaviors and change how they interact. Think about it. Abortion, it's like, instead of saying, hey, don't have sex before you're ready to have a child, just say, hey, yeah, have as much sex as you want and just have an abortion. Okay, no accountability for your decisions there, even though it impacts the life of a child. That's fantastic. Don't worry about what you study in college. The government's going to pay for it. Okay, so no accountability for that. Don't worry if you get laid off or anything like that. The government will pay for it. Don't worry about buying a house. The government's going to give you money for it. Don't worry about any of these. The government's just going to give you the money. No accountability. I can just go do what I want. That nobody would raise their kids that way and expect a good result. And yet, Democrats think that these policies are helpful when actually they hurt you. And that is something that we need to do a better job of messaging on. And one of the issues that came up that pretty much from every single speaker last night was abortion. Abortion is, Elaine, what? Just to confirm, where is that on the list of priorities when you ask voters to rank their priorities?
So it generally ranks dead last, with only about 50% of voters saying that it ranks as an important issue to them.
Generally dead last. Now, you wouldn't believe that based on how many times it was brought up.
No, but everything they do is catering to special interests. Like in the case of people that want to have abortions, that's very much a special interest. It's not all women. It's not even a large majority of them. It's like the black voter or the Hispanic voter. It's never about the American voter and what will be prosperous for your family. It's how can I segment you off into a special interest group and pander to you?
Right, exactly.
How can I marginalize you so that I can help you be unmarginalized?
Exactly.
Yes.
Like the gender-neutral prayer room?
Yeah, yes. Or the all-faith. Some of these faiths are at war with each other, so maybe not having them all in the same room would be a great idea.
You thought the Palestinians were pissed off at the Democrats before. Now imagine that they have to go pray with women.
This will be rough. A very interesting thing. I'm still waiting to see some footage from some of the protesting and stuff that's going on there. We'll see. I hope it doesn't get bad, but it's Chicago, so Chicago's already bad, so you're kind of adding more bad to bad.
Research sent in. They sent in the most major factors in vote for president. Top answers among voters.
There we go.
Abortion was dead last at 51%.
Oh, jeez.
Highest was economy, then inflation, state of democracy, which is a weird one because
it's a vague question.
Being told that's the thing. Crime, gun policy, U.S.-Mexico border, orange juice or apple juice, Nickelodeon or Disney Junior, and then abortion. Finally, at the end.
Okay.
Which one had the busy world of Richard Scarry? That went pretty hard.
I don't know.
Even though we know that to be true, here's what they wanted you to believe was on everyone's mind last night.
Trump's vision for America's future. It will ban abortion nationwide.
We must protect abortion rights.
She will restore abortion rights nationwide.
Kamala will protect a woman's right to choose
standard abortion care.
More than 1 in 3 women of reproductive age in America lives under an abortion ban.
Because of Louisiana's abortion ban,
Trump's actions have resulted in extreme bans on abortion.
It's like every other word. Every speaker focused on that issue, and they straight up lied to you. We covered it for just a second. We're going to get more in detail here about Donald Trump's views on abortion. And the most egregious example, and look, anybody who is a rape survivor, my heart goes out to you, especially in cases where it's hard to say that there are different levels, but they're kind of you just like the level of violation of trust when it's a parent that does it just seems to add some incredible amount of crazy on top of the story that is horrifying. And the most egregious example of the DNC using a rape was basically them using a rape survivor, Hadley Duvall, to pretty much try and demonize Donald Trump. Here's what she had to say.
I was raped by my stepfather after years of sexual abuse. At age 12, I took my first pregnancy test, and it was positive. That was the first time I was ever told, you have options. I can't imagine not having a choice. But today, that's the reality for many women and girls across the country because of Donald Trump's abortion bans. He calls it a beautiful thing. What is so beautiful about a child having to carry her parent's child?
That's incredibly sad. Bury that person under the jail. The father, the stepfather that raped her, bury him under the jail. I don't care if he's dead or alive, whichever way it's most convenient. Get him under the jail and be done, right? That's the reaction that everybody in this room has to
kill
that.
Him again.
Kill him again. Keep killing him until he's dead, until he dies from being killed.
Kill him.
Yes.
Kill him.
And ban him from Twitter? Is that what you said? That seems like a weird thing to throw in there.
Yeah.
That's weird. But Trump's abortion ban, did you hear that word? Trump's abortion ban? Listen, what happened to this person was a tragedy. The result should be that the person who did this, gone. Period. Gone. But to then get up there and use words like that, she didn't think that.
She didn't write that.
That's what was given to her by people who wanted to use her story to try and get you to think that Donald Trump is going to force this person to do something at 12 years old. Here's the facts. Donald Trump does not have an abortion ban. There is no Trump abortion ban. It's not real. It doesn't exist. Here's another fact. You may not like it, but if you want to portray his stance on abortion, he does it in his own words. He has 3 exceptions that he believes in.
Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother.
There you go. Donald Trump in his own words. Hey, Daniel Dell, CNN. Where's your fact check? I haven't seen it all. I'm looking. I even went to your X account. I didn't see it there either. The last things that I saw really were unrelated or Donald Trump fact checks. I'm waiting for the fact check on Joe Biden. I'm waiting for the fact check on a Trump abortion ban. I'll keep waiting, apparently, because I don't think you're ever actually going to do it. Donald Trump made it very clear. You don't like his policy? That's fine. But here is his policy. I think the people that you might have a problem with are at the state level. If you have an issue with abortion policy in your state, lobby people in your state to change it one way or the other. But certainly don't look to Donald Trump and say he has an abortion ban because it's a lie. Here's another fact.
Well, real quick, I just want to touch on that because I was watching this in real time and I was so bothered by the fact, well, first of all, that young woman's story is terribly heartbreaking. And Republicans speaking about this need to be absolutely sure to sympathize with people who need to be sympathized with.
Yes.
She does. But what the fact that they can come out and lie so blatantly, not her, she's not lying about anything, but the people that are orchestrating this, Joe Biden, whoever, it's because they know they have their Praetorian Guard in the media that is going to defend anything they say. Trump will say, well, inflation is 50%. Now, they'll fact check. No, it was actually only 47.23%, you idiot. Yeah. Yet they can make things that are completely factually incorrect. Just make them up, throw them out there, and know with 100% certainty that nobody is going to challenge them on that.
Yeah.
What is the state of our media? If you're a journalist and you're letting this slide, you should be sick to yourself.
Yeah. I think there was... Go ahead.
I just said ashamed.
Oh, yeah, ashamed. Yes. I think there was a post from... I can't remember if it was the Washington Post or somebody who did it, and they fact-checked 4 things that were mentioned in this post, and a liberal was like, wow, the Washington Post is turning against us, or something like that. And I'm like, they fact-checked the beautiful, like the you know, there were very fine people on both sides, and a couple of other things, like the losers and suckers, they fact-checked that. I was like, listen, I mean, I get that you may have a point of view that's different from mine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with having a conversation about that, but can we just all take a second and go, they fact-checked every single minute, it seemed, of the RNC. And I have seen nothing. And I guarantee you, we will not see anything being fact-checked from the CNNs of the world. The people that are supposed to be.
Balloon drop.
Yeah, they did. It's not the highest number of balloons. By the way, it could have been. It was like up to my waist. Yeah. There's a lot of balloons.
They'll bury it on page 4 of their website, and they'll say, hey, we fact-checked. Look at us.
They won't even do that.
They might. There's one out there on CNN floating around now, but that doesn't address everything. But it's there, but it's buried, and you have to go looking for it. It's on their website.
Can we bring that up later and look through it and see exactly what they say? So I haven't seen the segment yet.
But it's like writing a headline when Fox says crime down under Biden compared to Trump. And then in the article, it's buried that actually, well, here's the truth.
Right.
But they know 95% of people don't have more time in their day than just to be able to read the headline or read the front page news or turn on or unfortunately be stuck in an airport and have to see CNN on the screen.
Well, it would be nice if there were fact checks, because then people would have the right information, right? Because that's what I thought they were concerned with, making sure that people were told the truth.
They're not.
I guess it's only if it fits with your ideology. Here's something that doesn't. Fact number 3. There are 10 to 15,000 late-term abortions every single year, on average. There's your data. Never happens. I know of at least 10 to 15,000 cases where maybe that child medically could live outside of the womb because medically they can. 10 to 15,000. Even if that's the only thing we're talking about, 10 to 15,000, that's a real big number. Fact 4. Only a tiny percentage of abortions are due to rape, incest, or the life of the mother. Just to put it in context for you, 1% of abortions are due to rape, right? 0.5% of abortions are due to incest, and 1.14% are done to save the life of a mother. Tiny percentages. Let's just round it up to 3%. Can we get rid of the other 97%?
Exactly.
Is that okay with everybody? Donald Trump, I'm for the 3 exceptions. 3 exceptions listed right here. They gave you the story of a rape survivor of someone whose father-in-law raped them. Donald Trump would have covered that as an exemption. You're still not happy. You're never going to be happy. I think that is the conclusion. You want unrestricted abortion, but you don't want to say it. You just want to blame us for the 3% and use that as cover for the other 97%, because you don't want people to have any accountability at all. We agree on the 3 exceptions here from Donald Trump's platform. He said it. We agree that he said it, but you don't care.
Well, nobody wants.
You're not going to relent.
Nobody wants to write on the form for abortion clinic. Reason. I'm going on vacation next month.
No, I know.
Pregnant belly would look bad in the photos.
Yes.
Let's just take it one step further, though. Remember the change of messaging. It used to be pro-choice, right? It was safe, rare,
legal, and rare.
Safe, legal, and rare, right?
And rare.
And now it's abortion rights.
Yes.
If every single conservative state out there said, okay, let's ban every late-term abortion, and that's it. And you can have legal abortions up to 20 weeks, and we're going to ban everything else. They would still not be okay with that, because it's not really about the viability of the baby. It's not really about what do we consider to be a life. It's about, can I live my life consequence-free at the expense of other people, no matter what that means.
And they want you to pay for it.
Yes.
It should be government funded.
Yeah.
They're going to run scare ads. Listen, we take a minute to go through this to make sure that you understand that there is no appeasing the crocodiles here. It's just not going to happen ever. So just stand your ground. If you believe in the 3 exceptions, fine. If you don't, fine. But don't be willing to compromise on any of this other stuff. If you're in a state where it's on the ballot, make sure you go and vote for it. And if you've got people crying about it, make sure you tell them, hey, look, it's a state issue, not a federal issue that Donald Trump. You can't blame Donald Trump for this. All he did was make sure that a court interpreted the Constitution correctly instead of how they want it to be. You want it to be a different way? We have a process for that. So one of the other things that they did, kind of moving on from abortion here, at the DNC, was that they kind of set up this Law and Order hit piece, which, listen, I liked Law and Order. It was fine. I didn't like the
so
stuff.
cringy.
It was a little tough to watch those cases, but murder, totally fine. After James Clyburn gave his unhinged speech, which I recommend you go and watch and get angry. Just don't have anything you can throw at the screen like mugs. Right, because you break your mug, that's a tragedy as well. Yeah. Not on the same level as anything else we've been talking about, but a small tragedy. They ran this really cringy anti-Trump Law and Order hit piece.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by 2 separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime, and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. This is the story of Donald Trump. His entire life, Trump has believed he's above the law, that no one would ever dare hold him accountable.
What?
He lies. He rips off workers. He sexually abuses women.
That old bag?
You can do anything.
Couldn't find a better picture, huh?
In business. That hideous woman. He cheated on his wife with a porn star and paid her off so the American people wouldn't find out during an election.
Wrong.
Nope.
She owes him $150,000.
Yep. Ordinary Americans have had the courage to find him accountable time and time again.
Guilty. Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts.
For the first time in history, we have a convicted felon running for president.
Hell yeah.
And to take on this case, we need a president who has spent her life prosecuting perpetrators like Donald.
Yay!
He tried overturning Georgia's free and fair election.
This is a lie.
I want to find 11,780 votes.
That existed.
To escape any responsibility for instigating the January 6th attack on our Capitol.
Watch this. Wait for it.
Walk down to the Capitol.
Peacefully. You couldn't hang a 3-foot person
Trump
on that.
has promised to overturn laws that would keep him accountable and exact retribution on anyone he considers an enemy. Even warning of a bloodbath doesn't get his way. So we the people have a chance to render our own verdict on Donald Trump. We are the jury he most fears. When we vote this November, we vote for justice, accountability, and the rule of law.
The American way.
Keeps America free.
She's actually questioning.
It was like, really, do we believe in freedom? Because I want to control pricing, and I want to give you all a lot of money from all of the rich people.
Do you want to open up a business? No.
No, that was just one giant lying ad, which Snopes and CNN would be fact-checking right now if they were not in the bag for Democrats. I know.
That reminds me, we actually have CNN's fact check.
Do we?
Or is it the Washington Post?
We have both.
We have both.
All right, so pull that up. I'll get into the lies here really quickly, and then we'll go to Mug Club in just a minute. But go ahead, pull that up really quickly, Boo.
So here's CNN's, say, among other things, Democratic state and federal office holders, including President Joe Biden, delivered some false, misleading, or lacking key context claims on the first night of the Democratic National Convention.
Did they go scroll down? Did they give us any of the claims?
They specifically, research said CNN called out the abortion lies.
They did?
Yeah, apparently.
So hold on. Biden repeated misleading claims he has made in previous speeches about billionaires' tax rate before trade. He also overstated the extent to which his efforts to fight climate change are expected to reduce U.S. carbon emissions in the next decade. He made an outdated claim about the number of Americans with health insurance. He omitted key context about his administration's infrastructure building efforts, framing distant goals as if they were already achievements. Keep going. Scroll down. Give me more. Give me more.
Gerald.
Michigan State Senator falsely claimed the Supreme Court. Robert, blah, 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 blah. Keep going down. The injecting of bleach. Of course, they're going to go to that. Biden on taxing billionaires. We'll go, you know what? Keep that article. We'll go through that a little bit here in Mug Club. I want to see how they do it because it matters, right? When we put together a fact check and when they put together a fact check, it's done in a way to make sure that you see the lie very clearly. Here's what they said, right? Here's the truth. Burying it in word salad and giving him like, well, he made an exaggerated claim. Well, he did this, he did that. It basically buries all of it for you. So yes, technically some of those are there. Not all of them, certainly. But I'm not seeing the Daniel Dale going up and pressing play and saying, well, there were 27 lies that we had to fact check tonight. I have had my work cut out for me. Joe Biden is really a piece of crap. He didn't say that.
It's about posterity over exposure. Yes. They want to be able to say, no, look, we did this, but they don't actually want to see, or they don't want people to see that they did it.
Right. So let's go through a couple of the lies really quickly. Just from that ad. Lie number 1. Trump sexually assaults, I guess she's a woman, E. Jean Carroll, but she's
crazy. Women are women.
Fine, she's crazy.
Her dog or her cat was named Vagina. The judge wasn't allowed to put that in.
Golly.
Case in point.
That was also the lady who said, rape is sexy.
And again.
Yes.
And she
play
said
that one?
No, it's fine.
This isn't justifying sexually assaulting women.
Of course
that has to be crazy. What we're saying is she's insane. And also,
how do you believe her when
Alvin
she presented
Bragg
no evidence?
Had to change a bajillion laws just to bring this case to trial.
They had to extend. Actually, I think, fact check me if I'm wrong. Reid Hoffman, Netflix guy. I think it was Reid Hoffman. No, LinkedIn. Sorry, not Netflix. LinkedIn helped get that law on the book so that it extended the statute of limitations or gave that window to be able to file the lawsuit. Financially contributed.
I know he funded E. Jean Carroll's legal bills.
Yes.
And I also know that during the White Dudes for Harris live stream, he got on there and donated $50,000. But yet that's not a conflict of interest at all.
No, not at all.
I don't know.
He's the guy pushing for this. He's the guy helping fund this that hates Donald Trump. Gee, it would be really bad if,
he pushed for this.
I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
Sorry, I was.
That's why I sued him.
Quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
You're fascinating to talk to.
Vagina.
That person walks into the courthouse with no evidence, and you're like, I believe you.
Sorry, it just popped into my head that I was conflating the Alvin Bragg, the campaign finance case with E. Jean Carroll's case, because there's a million going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of these.
Sorry, admonish me. The point is, she's a crazy person.
She's absolutely a crazy person. You know what? There's a lot more to get through, including him cheating. We're not going to go to it, but including him cheating on his wife with a porn star. We have to go through this again. If you're not a member of Mug Club, join right now. Click that button. Right there. We're going to Mug Club right now. YouTube this off.